Be me, 29 female. Sitting in my quiet, tastefully decorated apartment that I'm very proud of. Got the career, the gym body, the skincare routine that costs more than my monthly food budget. By all metrics of the modern world, I'm supposed to be winning. My phone is silent. My weekends are a rotation of brunch with the same 2 single friends or solo trips to the museum. I open Instagram, see a picture of a guy I went to college with. He wasn't a jock or a frat star, just a normal, sweet guy from my history class. He's holding his daughter on his shoulders at a pumpkin patch. His wife is beaming next to him. She's pretty, but not in an Instagram-filtered way. She just looks happy, content, and a familiar, bitter question bubbles up in my throat. Why don't men approach women anymore? Not just me. My friends complain about it constantly. The dating pool has piss in it. Men are cowards now. They just want to watch porn and play video games. We say these things, nod, and sip our mimosas. And for years I believed it. But tonight, seeing that photo, the film reel in my head starts playing backwards. And I'm not the heroine of the story. Be me, 20 years old, in a bar with my 3 best friends. We're all dressed to kill. Our entire self-worth is based on how many heads we can turn. A guy walks up to our table. He's not a model, but he's clean-cut, decent looking, maybe a 6.5 or a 7. He's visibly nervous. Hey, sorry to interrupt. My friends and I were just leaving, but I thought you were really beautiful and I'd regret it if I didn't at least say hi. It was actually a sweet, vulnerable thing to do. My friend Sarah scoffs, audibly. I give him a blank, unimpressed stare. I look him up and down slowly, deliberately. Me. Okay? And? Him, stammering. Oh, well, I was wondering if I could maybe get your number? I let the silence hang in the air for a painful 5 seconds. Then I turn to my friends, roll my eyes, and we all share a little smirk. I turn back to him. Sorry, you're not really my type. He just nods, face red, and practically flees. The moment he's out of earshot, we erupt. You're really beautiful, Sarah mimics in a dopey voice. The audacity of a 6 trying to shoot his shot with a 10. Another friend chimes in. We laughed about it for the rest of the night. We called him Regret It Ryan. It was a bonding experience. A story we told for weeks. We were the witty, unattainable goddesses. He was the punchline. I never once thought about what that felt like for him. A person who gathered his courage, put his ego on the line, and got publicly humiliated by a group of cruel girls for the crime of finding one of them attractive. He probably went home and felt like shit. He probably thought twice or 3 times before ever approaching another woman again. One down. Be me, 22. At a university coffee shop studying for finals. Headphones on but no music playing. The classic don't bother me signal. A guy from my economics class sits down at the table next to mine. He's smart, asks good questions and lectures. A bit nerdy, but kind eyes. After a few minutes, he taps my shoulder. I pull one headphone off with an annoyed sigh. Hey, sorry. I'm Mike, from Econ 301. I'm just totally stuck on this problem set about monetary policy. You seem to get it. Any chance you could explain this one graph to me? He wasn't hitting on me. He was genuinely asking for help on a subject we shared. A perfect, low-stakes opening for a conversation. Me. Sorry, I'm really busy. I put my headphone back on. Didn't even make full eye contact. He sat there for another minute, looking defeated, then packed up his stuff and left. My internal monologue at the time? Ugh, why do guys always try to use needing help as an excuse to talk to you? It's so transparent. If he was hot, maybe. But him? No thanks. I wasn't busy. I was scrolling through Twitter. I treated a simple human interaction as a tedious, unwanted advance. I failed to see a potential classmate, a friend, or even just a fellow student in need. I only saw his value as a potential romantic partner, deemed it insufficient, and discarded him with cold efficiency. How many times can a man be treated like an inconvenience for just existing in a woman's vicinity before he decides to just stay in his own lane? 2 down. Be me, 24. My checklist phase. He has to be over 6 feet. He has to make 6 figures, or have the clear potential to. He has to have a certain kind of car, dress a certain way, have a witty but not dorky sense of humor. I went on a date with a guy who was a genuinely good man. He was a teacher. He was passionate about his work with underprivileged kids. He was funny, kind, paid for dinner, walked me to my car. He was 5 feet 10 inches. When he texted me the next day, I had a really great time last night. I'd love to do it again. I left him on red. When my friends asked why, I said, The vibe was just off. The vibe wasn't off. He just didn't tick an arbitrary box on a list I'd constructed from rom-coms and Instagram influencers. He was a good man, a man who could have been a wonderful partner to someone, but to me he was just a number, a measurement, and he came up short. We shouted from the rooftops that we wanted good, kind men, but when one showed up, if he didn't come in the right packaging, we sent him back. How many times can a man put his best foot forward, be a perfect gentleman, and still get rejected for something he can't control before he starts to think, what's the point? 3 down, be me, all through my early 20s. My friends and I had a group chat where we'd screenshot dating app profiles and roast guys for their photos, their bios, their jobs. We'd post screenshots of cringy DMs on our private stories. Sometimes the crime was just being awkward. Sometimes it was just using the wrong emoji. The risk for them was 0 to none. A girl isn't interested. She moves on. The risk for them, with us, was becoming a laughingstock to a dozen of our friends. It was public record. We created a minefield. Any misstep in the delicate dance of courtship could result in digital ridicule. We demanded confidence but punished imperfection. We wanted them to be bold, but one slightly off joke and they were labeled a creep in the group chat. We treated men's vulnerability as entertainment. So now, I'm 29. I'm starting to see it. It's not a mystery. It's a cause and effect. We spent a decade treating ordinary, decent men like they were disposable, like their courage was an annoyance and their interest was an entitlement. We laughed at them, belittled them, and ghosted them. We held them to impossible standards while offering little more than our own sense of inflated self-worth in return. We were the gatekeepers to intimacy, and we made the gate a gauntlet of humiliation. And the men? They just learned. The guys like Regret It Ryan learned that the potential reward of a woman's number wasn't worth the crushing public rejection. He probably found a girl at work or through a hobby in a more natural setting. The Mikes from the coffee shop learned that it was easier and safer to just Google the answer than to risk being treated like a pariah for asking for help. He's probably married to his nerdy equal, someone who appreciated his mind. The 5'10" teachers learned that their kindness and character were worthless in the face of superficial checklists. He hopefully found a woman who saw his value as a man, not his height. The men we wanted, the top tier, 6'2" chads with 6-figure salaries, they learned they didn't have to approach anyone. They have women flooding their DMs. They have options. They have no incentive to be vulnerable or kind, because they are the prize we all told ourselves we deserved. They play by a different set of rules, rules we helped write. The rest of the men, the vast majority of good, normal guys, they didn't disappear. They didn't all become basement-dwelling goblins. They just opted out of the game. They realized that the game is rigged against them. The risk is high. Humiliation, being called a creep, being screenshotted and mocked, and the reward is low, a date with a woman who is likely judging them against an impossible photoshopped ideal. So they started focusing on themselves, their careers, their hobbies, their male friendships. They find relationships organically, through shared interests, where the connection is built on a foundation of mutual respect, not a cold, terrifying approach in a bar. I see it all so clearly now. I'm living in the world I helped create, a world where men are afraid to approach. I thought I was a goddess on a pedestal. Turns out I was just a dragon guarding a horde of nothing, breathing fire on anyone who got close. Now the knights have all gone to other, friendlier kingdoms, and the dragon is getting lonely.